I went into the altars expecting a survival sim. What I got was a psychological deep dive into identity, time, and desperate choices, all wrapped in a brutal race against the sun. Imagine waking up alone on a dying planet, except you're not alone. You're surrounded by alternate versions of yourself. Today, I'm diving into my first impressions after getting early access to this game, the brand new sci-fi survival narrative from 11-bit studios, the minds behind Frostpunk, and let me tell you, this game is not what I expected in the best way possible. So here's the setup. You play as Jan Dulski, a worker stranded on a hostile planet with the clock ticking towards solar annihilation. Your only chance of survival is creating alternate versions of yourself called the Alters, each shaped by different life choices and timelines, essentially who you could have been. It's a deeply personal sci-fi story that explores identity, regret, and survival through a really unique mechanic: cloning. You don't just make a copy, you make a version of yourself that could have existed if your life had taken a different path. Now, from the outside looking in, this game looked kind of jank, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I was a little hesitant about it. However, this game has so many gameplay mechanics and actually feeds the want of survival crafting that I honestly didn't know I needed. We have a mobile base that you're gonna need to manage. It's the heart of the game, and ultimately it's a massive wheel-shaped structure that constantly moves across the planet's surface to avoid the scorching sun. Think of it like Frostpunk, but on the move. Every decision, every upgrade, and every delay has weight. You'll need to manage your resources, monitor power levels, construct modules, and keep things running, all while making sure the base is actually moving fast enough to outrun planetary doom. But your alters can get in the way of these things. I mean, this is the game's defining mechanic. You research branches of yourself, then fabricate an alter. Each one has unique skills based on their life experience. An engineer version of Jan might be able to repair the base faster, while a chemist version helps refine resources. And it's not just utility. These alters come with their own personalities, memories, and emotional baggage that you're gonna have to deal with. They don't always get along, they do argue, they may distrust you, they may distrust each other. You'll literally have to juggle exploration, base repairs, managing the needs of your alters, and managing morale. The stress of this is pretty overwhelming, honestly, but it's fun. Every moment feels urgent. Poor choices early on can spiral pretty quickly. It keeps the tension high without feeling punishing, at least in the early hours. Essentially, the alter system also allows you to basically use them to work on the base, and you can assign them different tasks. You can assign them tasks in the base or outside the base. I won't go into detail about how all that works on the outside, as I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And honestly, it gives that whole feeling of automation. Using all of your alters to just carry out different tasks throughout the base is pretty seamless. Visually, the game has a strong identity. Harsh lighting, really cool sci-fi interiors, and a cold industrial feel that matches the tone perfectly. And the voice acting, surprisingly, it's pretty good. Jan's internal monologue and conversations with his alters add a lot of emotional weight. And from what I understand, every single alter of Jan is voiced by the same person. The way that he was able to make different tones of Jan, and I don't even know how he did that. It's really cool. The UI is clean and minimal, but it's informative. The environmental storytelling, from logs to layout of each module, builds a sense of history and loneliness that hits hard. Honestly, this game isn't really just a survival crafting game. It's kind of a game of just confronting of who you could have been. Now for me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, no game is perfect, and that doesn't exclude this game. The pacing in early game can feel slow. If you're expecting high octane action, there's a lot of reading, planning, and micromanaging. Some systems aren't explained clearly in my opinion, and I had to fail a couple times to really figure things out, which maybe that's just part of the journey. Also, while the alter interactions are fascinating, I'm hoping future hours expand on into their personalities and more conflicts, because that's where the real emotional punch lands. But honestly, my final thoughts about the alters is really good. I want to continue playing, and I will. It's shaping up to be a thoughtful, tense survival experience with a pretty compelling hook. Honestly, this game is pretty damn good. All criticisms and quirks aside, really isn't much. I'm excited to keep playing it, and I will. And I think a lot of people should actually pick this up because it's something different. And I won't lie, at first it kind of reminded me of like a Fallout Shelter type of game, and it kind of is. But you can leave the base and it's in complete Unreal Engine, so it looks amazing. I'm definitely going to be continuing my playthrough, and I'll be watching closely to see how deep this rabbit hole of alternate selves really goes. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've played it too. Sub for more deep dive content, and I'll see you and maybe 5 other versions of myself in the next one.